Good evening, and Happy New Year. Ikamulwazi, Fangama, Kopot Malaga Ninjala. Welcome to Buzzwood, Naba. What are people going to think? What are they going to think? It's been a minute. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. And this evening I'm joined by someone that's been here before. So we're just going to chat again. The good son, Ntsika. We just want to catch up, find out what he's been up to, how his books have been going, and yeah. So I'm just gonna wait for him to join, and then we get to go. How's your week been? It's been cold. It's been a cold ass week. Whoa, it's been a cold ass week here in Paris. I think it's gonna snow soon. That's how cold it is. But yeah, man is here. We'll go straight into it. Wakatsheni mfowethu, uyaphila? Ukahle mfowakatsheni? Just waiting for Kabazela, my fault. What's happening, Auntie? Why are you not coming on, bro? Yeah, just waiting on Ntsika to come on. I've been accepting you, bro.
Let me in, let me in, let me
Win.
Yeah,
What's up? What am I?
Hey, yo. Bazothina bani.
Ladies and gentlemen.
New Year. Bazokhuluma still New Year.
Bazothini baye bakhulume.
Fine, let's go.
Baye bakhulume, bro.
Fine, let's go.
The good son himself. What's up, bro?
Hey, yo, brother. Nah, man. So sorry for the delay. Like, it's so hot, man. I feel like everything just melted and slowed down. Yo, too hot, bro.
As you can see. It's a different environment this side.
Listen, I literally had to put on a shirt. When you call, I'm like, yo, I saw you going live. I'm like, yo, you put on a shirt. Yo. Crazy. Oh my goodness. Nah, but shout out to everybody.
No problem, man. So what's good, man? What's good? What's been happening?
Oh man, too much, man. You know, trying to start the year off on a good note, you know. Doing everything, you know. We're not leaving anything behind this year, man. You know? The whole list, the whole to-do list for this year, the whole goal list for this year,
that's my choice, bro. So, we have to. Yeah, like I said to you in the beginning of the year, Mel, we have no other way but to hit every single thing on the list. Well,
yeah,
but obviously today we've got.
But how are you doing, my brother? How are you?
I'm good, man. Just a bit tired. It's been a hectic couple of weeks, rugby-wise. So the body's a bit tired, but again, we have a bye after this week. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, you know, you need that break.
Well, I'm looking forward to that.
You need that break.
Man, we've got a lot to talk about. You've been speaking. You've been talking a lot.
Listen,
you've been talking a lot, so let's just get into it. I'm gonna hit it up. Dealing with famous friends.
Yeah,
let's talk about that.
like you,
I'm not.
like you.
No. Ah. Oh, unephutha lapha angikho famous mina futhi.
How do I deal with having you as a friend? That's a good one. Yeah,
Angikho
you
famous.
inspire
I
us.
am not famous. Unephutha lapha angikho famous mina, so I will.
Since high school, my man. Since high school. What's happening?
Yeah, so let's get into it. Yeah, dealing with famous friends.
Sure, man.
What made you decide to talk about that?
Um, to be honest, like it started from way back, even from high school days, always like I said, I said it's a joke, but we've always been a part of, people who are deemed popular, people are deemed cool.
Yeah.
And back then, fame was something so few, it only happened to a small group of people, fame. But now with the whole internet and TikTok and, the social media generation, anybody can go famous or viral in any second. And I feel like so many people are affected by, or friendships are affected by that shift of success or fame. And that it happens even quicker these days, like from 12 years old, man, you can be 12 and your friend has 1,000 followers or 2,000 followers or 20,000 followers and you're only in high school. And it's like, yo, how do you build a genuine friendship in that situation?
You can't.
Or even in a later
But
stage,
sometimes,
you are friends and somebody changes and, takes off and becomes successful. And it's like, yo, this other person was a close friend of mine. So I feel like even now more than ever, it affects all of us. I felt like, no, man, I've always had, very cool people like yourself around me. And I've always had to deal with, maintaining friendships, throughout the success. And I've been able to do it just simply by keeping it real, man. So I just felt like that's information that we don't really share it or we don't speak about that often that affects a lot of us.
yeah, that is true. That is true. I feel like it does affect a lot of people because it's not really shared. People don't really talk about it because you find that sometimes, like you said, your friend would blow up. Then you find that they don't have time for you anymore. But you used to talk a lot. So how do you deal? How would you deal with a situation like that? Like a person used to talk a lot. Now they've blown up. Now they're blowing up because they putting in the work because they're following their passion, putting in the work. Someone is recognizing their grind and the talent, and now probably they don't have as much time as they used to. How do you deal with that?
Hey, man, you put it very nicely. That's exactly how it goes. I think now I know how to handle it now, but before I didn't. Before you felt like it's them just running away from you or them switching up on you or changing up on you. But in reality, as you're saying, it's a result of their passion, their hard work, or their goals as well. So you can't hate somebody for walking into their purpose and walking into their path. Like that's you being a hater actually if you're hating on somebody for being successful for what they love to do. Because that success, like success always, like even for you, for an example, your success required you to move to a different country. You understand? So like I'll be a bad friend for me to tell you, yo man, like you moving is gonna ruin our relationship. Like that'll be very wrong of me and very selfish of me to hold you back just for my own benefit, So the first thing you gotta do is understand what must happen and what is by choice. That's the thing that we need to differentiate. What needs to happen is you need to do what you need to do to be successful. But now the choices that you make, I can call you out on that. So if you move overseas, sure, you have to do it for your success. I'll respect that. I'll respect the time difference. But I won't respect you not answering 6 p.m. on Thursday because, we had a meeting. We're supposed to meet today. If you had an issue, you should have, spoken to me. So now as a friend, you're messing up, So you got to differentiate between what needs to happen and what must happen, So I think that's the first step that we need to understand is that, okay, cool. In this person's success or in this person's path or purpose, what do they need to do and what can they do? And then in the areas that they can, that's where you begin to manage the relationship because you understand that they need to be somewhere else, or they need to do certain things that unfortunately may compromise the time, the amount of quality time that you guys spend.
I understand that, and I fully agree with you. Now, I'll give you a situation. Now this person, let's say the person now obviously is blown up, putting in the hard work, but now like I said, they don't have much time for you. They don't have much, but they're spending a lot of time with other people. You understand?
Yeah.
So how do you deal with that? Because now it's a matter of, oh, this person is shifted. That means that, well, I'm not that friend anymore. They're the friend.
Got you. No. Even that I will experience. Sure, it sucks. But two things in that situation. You also gotta respect that even if you're not famous, any success or any progress in life requires you to be in different rooms and having different experiences. Even if somebody is just as simple as a teacher or an accountant, it requires them to spend time with their members, with their employees. So there's a certain amount of times that you gotta respect, which you gotta have spent with the new people. So you gotta understand that. But also when it comes to that, I feel like the mistake that I used to make is I used to wait on them to come back to me, and they used to find me, or I used to be in the same spot when they would come back, or when I would call them, or we're trying to communicate. But in reality, man, friendships are created by the essence of who you are, and there's just certain essences or certain energies that connect. So now, if you see me and I'm still in the same place that you left me, you feel like you are right to leave me behind. I'm still in the same place. But if I am on my hand, let me be a teacher, let me be an accountant, or whatever. If I'm also working on my life, and I've also got things adding on to my life in terms of stories and success and things like that, when you meet me, you're like, yo, man, like, I see you pushing as well on that side. I'm also pushing on my side as well. So I also won't feel like I'm waiting for you. And when you do have time to catch up, you feel like, oh, man, what is Ntsika up to? Like you feel also interested in my life as well. So I feel like you also have to move. You might not be moving in the exact same way, but you also move, man. And that energy doesn't lie, man. If those energies are meant to be, you'll align regardless of the industries that you're in. You'll still be able to have similar stories as you used to when you were kids, because those energy, you guys understand life in the same way. So I think just keep moving, man, and those energies will still connect if they were, was real energy.
It's so true that you need to keep moving, because a lot of people, they want to remain the same. I don't actually believe in that. I believe that as a person, we change. My opinion of something right now, today, might not be the same opinion 6 months later. Because why?
True.
I learn. I want to learn about new things. I might have a better understanding of that certain thing. So people that are on the move genuinely want to be around people that are on the move, because they do not want to be held back.
Exactly.
So if I'm on the move and you're not on the move, yes, I'm your friend. I'll still talk to you, but I feel like I'll be like, hey, dude, why don't you come to where I am right now? I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on different paths, but we still need to be on the move. And as human beings, we always have to be on the move.
Exactly. And you put it so nicely. You put it so nicely, man. You put it so nicely. So, I mean, I talk a lot. You're smart, so you're able to summarize it very well. And it's beautiful because I'll tell you this: like life, when you start learning, you become addicted to that. When you start learning, you become addicted to learning. And it's just like any plant. You plant it becomes a seed. And it becomes it becomes a stem, then it has leaves, then it bears fruit as well. It's still the same seed in essence, but it's growing. So you gotta grow as well, man. Like it hurts, but nobody wants to feel like they're stepping down.
No one wants to feel
to your circle ever. And you always love the people. You always love your friends, but that feeling is there when you grow in life and have different experiences. So it's good when you come back home, when you come back to your people, and you feel like, oh man, like, yo, what's up? Yo, so much has happened in your life, and you become interested in what they're doing, even though you're the successful person, the popular person. But when you go to them and it's like their stories are also just so amazing as well, and you learn from them, that's when the friendship also really, really grows. And you guys can still be strong and it's still tight.
That's one of the things that I really, really appreciate when I come back home, because I don't get to see many people. And when I see them, whether I'm out somewhere, I'll bump into them in the mall, or I'm out at Groove. It's always good seeing people and catching up and saying, yo, bruh,
Yeah.
just because I haven't said anything, I've been seeing your progress and you're doing well. Alhamdulillah. It's always good to come back home and just see people, friends, old friends, man. And it's one of the things I really, really cherish when I come back home.
No, it's always beautiful, man.
Yeah, giving a shout out
But
to
just keep
everyone
that
indeed,
friendship. Just keep moving.
everyone it's yeah.
Keep moving.
So I want to go on to the other topic that you talked about, and this one is very,
Let's
very
go.
interesting. You talked about how you know she's the one. Where did this one come from?
Yeah. Listen, man. So I'm a late. I usually sleep late. I'm so used to being productive at night. So I was catching up on some content, and they asked this particular celebrity how they knew their wife was the one. And the homie was like, oh man, she was able to put up with so much. And, when you put up with that much, then you know that she's the one. And I looked at it like, whoa, like like marriage, dog, like marriage and children, and like that's what you're gonna base your future on. This person's gonna take care of you when you're sick, and take care of your family, and you're basing it on the fact that they can just handle your cheating ways and infidelity. Nah, that's not proper. So based on that thing, I was like, nah, we need to speak about this one. We need to speak about what is actually important to considering a long-term relationship or marriage. Like, I feel like that is like the last box to tick off concerning a long relationship and long commitment.
And in your opinion, what are the boxes? This is, by the way, this is just your opinion. It's not anyone else's opinion. No one can judge you on this. Is just on your opinion. But what are the boxes that need to be ticked?
Oh man, social media doesn't understand your opinion, but I'll go for it anyway.
No,
listen,
they don't
I
need
think
to listen. They don't need to understand it's your opinion. That's one thing that people don't understand. As long as it makes sense to you, and if you try, if you can explain it to people. Some people, it's not that they don't want to understand. It's not that they don't understand. Actually, it's that they don't want to understand.
Facts.
Yeah.
That's facts. No, man. Let's get into it. I think for me, when you talk about marriage and you talk about long-term commitment, you need to see what that entails. So, for example, like marriage automatically entails family, and family automatically entails culture and environment.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta think, can this person fit in or be a part of the culture and environment of my family, and vice versa? Can my family be able to contain this person? Because I think we've all had experiences where people have come into cultures and they don't hate their partner, but they hate the culture or the environment that they're in, and that's not what causes the friction in the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that they were the issue. They wanted to get married, so clearly they loved each other. But the issue was when it became to meeting family, meeting the culture, that's where now the issue became. So I think that's automatically from the word go for me. Like the first box is, okay, cool. Like, can this person fit into my culture, my family, and can my family also be able to? Because you gotta train both sides. It's not a one-way street of saying, no, you must come in here and you have to fit in here. Even the family also have to compromise and accept this person as well. So you as a medium, you gotta be able to look at that and say, okay, cool. Like, I think this person can complement my family or complement the culture, and I think as well my family will be accepting of this person as well. So for me, that's already like one of the first boxes that are so key. Just from the word go, that's the first box. Because I've experienced it with close family friends of mine, close family members of mine, where there was that cultural thing, and because there was an issue there, the relationship didn't last, and it's very unfortunate that happens. And I think in order to help that box as well be, successful or to be checked off in the relationship, you need to talk about who you are. You know what I'm saying? You need to introduce yourself and say, no, I'm Raz, I'm Calvin, but I also come from Italy, and Italy, this is a lifestyle. This is what you eat. prepare the person and see if they can able to adjust. Give them enough information so that they can decide if they are ready to be a part of that life as well.
I don't want to interrupt you, but speaking on that culture and that, I heard something this week. The person was talking about it's important to, like you said, introduce the culture, know each other, because we come from different families, we come from different backgrounds. I might come from a family where, as a firstborn, I might be the breadwinner, and the girl might come from a family where everything is done for them. Where if she cries out for help, the parents directly help. My family, where if I'm working in my salary, I know, okay, I need to think about brother, sister, they're not working, or I need to help out at home. It might be different. It might be different for them. So now when we come together to form a bond or start a relationship, the person is like, wait, but I don't understand why do you have to give them money? Why can't they get money for themselves? Because that's not in their back. They don't know that. That's not in their culture, if I might put it like that. Because they don't know that.
Yeah, no, definitely.
All they know is that you work for your money. If I need help, I go to dad. If I need assistance, dad, I need a bit of money. Dad is okay, I'm gonna give you 10 grand now.
Yeah.
If I go to the other side, I'm like, oh, mom, dad, I need man, you need to work.
No,
we don't
they're looking at you for that. They're looking for you to be the one that says that money.
Yeah, we don't
it's the other way around for you.
They're like, we don't have that. So how do you deal with things like that?
No, those are real situations, right? Like I said, right? Like, we need to stop focusing on or romanticizing relationships to just saying, roses and vacations, and let's focus on the conversations as well. Like, let's have productive conversations. Like, these are conversations that we're generally supposed to be having in the relationship of, like, I see, you look good, you look good, you're romantic, you love music. Okay, cool. Now let's get into it. You know what I'm saying? Let's speak about the things that actually are the glue to the relationship. Who are you? Where do you come from? Why do you make the decisions that you do?
You see?
Why don't you like this food? Why do you like this food? And then through that, you're able to speak about, oh, actually, man, like, I could actually buy this car, but because of X, Y, and Z, I can't, because all my cousins back home need me to pay school fees because I'm the first one to get a degree. You know what I'm saying?
See?
So I'm the first one to have a 5-figure job, or 10 or 6-figure job, So these are the conversations that you have so that your partner is comfortable with your decision making, or at least understands the decision making, So now if you guys are living just trying to pretend to each other the whole time, or hiding who you are from each other the whole time, when that time comes for you guys to be close, you'll be shocked at the things that you see. You'll be like, man, you are so selfish. You tell your partner that they're selfish, but as you're saying, they grew up like that. They grew up only taking care of 1 or 2 people. You grew up taking care of 10 people. So their view is different. They're not being selfish. They're just doing what they know is how a family's run. You are also like, you look at them like, man, you're only taking care of one person, like, you're so selfish. But that's your background. So you in the relationship, before we even get to that level, these are the conversations that we need to have to actually find out who we are and how we make decisions. And I think through that we can prepare ourselves to see if we are really, really compatible for the long distance.
Yeah, and I feel like in a lot of instances, these are the conversations that people don't have these conversations. I think they get too stuck up in the superficial part of the conversation, of the relationship, I mean, where they, like you said, you mentioned, the vacations, the physical, and all of that, what people see, instead of what they actually want, how they actually feel. And they end up not really understanding each other. So you find that you are with someone for a long time, but you don't really know each other.
Yeah.
You don't really know each other.
Listen, the unfortunate thing, bro, in just general terms, not only relationships, is that we all want to look happy. You know, we all sacrifice so much just to look happy. So few people are actually happy because we sacrifice so much just to look happy. And sometimes happiness doesn't look good.
No.
But I'll tell you something, happiness really feels good when you're happy though. Like nobody can take that satisfaction away from you, man. So I think just generally that is one of our biggest things as people is we want to look happy. And we really do. So we acquire all the things that we think make us look happy in the relationship, in our personal lives. We just do everything that we think is going to make us happy, but we don't do the work of happiness. Happiness takes work, you know, and that work, unfortunately or fortunately, most of the time is very lonely because it starts with yourself. Like you can never be happy with somebody else, man, unless you're happy with yourself, bro. Like you can have, like I could give you my list, but I've had some, I've had some of your amazing people, but you know, it doesn't last, man, because you always see fault because it's reflecting on who you are, you know, and there's certain journeys you don't want to go through in that relationship. So the relationship ends because you don't want to go deeper. And you don't want to go deeper because you need to deal with yourself first, you know. So it takes that work, and it takes you starting to work on yourself before you get to that stage you can let somebody in.
I think it was Will Smith who said he didn't know what happiness was up until he realized that his wife wasn't in charge. It wasn't a responsibility for his happiness, and he was responsible for his happiness. And vice versa, because he thought that he needed to make her happy, but that wasn't his responsibility. So I kind of agree with that. It's our responsibilities. Like for me, it's my responsibility I'm responsible for my happiness. I'm the only one. Yes, you can do things that could add to the happiness, but
exactly
me now. At the end of the day.
That's big, bro. That's big, bro. Because we look at people and we say, like, this person looks like they can make me happy. And that's very wrong, you know, like just because in a relationship it's not a demand like, yo, what have you done for me today? Like, no, dude, that's not how it is.
Like, what have you done? So you start, I've done this, I've done that. No. In a relationship, you do things because you just want to do it. It's not a matter of you doing things because at the end, if I get asked 6 months down the line, I'm like, no, I did this, I did that.
Yeah, I can say.
No,
I was reporting. You're reporting
because I wanted to do that.
Exactly, man.
You did that because
now
you wanted to do that.
Because now we're treating relationships like a service. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a service thing. Like, yo, you didn't call me today, or you didn't do this for me today. Like, yo, whoa, hold up. Like, that person's a whole human being and they have their own existence. So you got to understand, like, your own life as well. And that, as you were saying earlier, that person adds on to your life, you know? So we got to respect people individually. And we have to also work on ourselves individually as well.
There's a question here.
I see you got a question.
I'll let you answer this question.
Okay, cool. Can you read it for us?
How do we draw the line between choosing your happiness and not being too self-absorbed?
Okay, between choosing your happiness and not being too self-absorbed. I think it goes back to what I was saying earlier. Like, I feel like you'll always be self-absorbed if you haven't spent time with yourself or you haven't conquered yourself. You know, you always be selfish if you haven't conquered yourself. But once you actually have spent time with yourself and you've dealt with the things that you dealt within yourself, you'll be able to be honest enough to say, oh, no, I was wrong. Or, oh, no, actually, you know, I need to do better, you know, because you realize where you are and you understand your own SWOT analysis, you know, your strengths, your weaknesses, and things like that. So once you conquer yourself, then you'll be able to make that decision a bit more clearer. You know, like it's about working on yourself is about increases your chances of success.
Yeah.
You know? So whenever you work on yourself, you're able to increase like your chances of making the right decision. So you'll be able to choose your happiness, but you won't only choosing that person because they make you happy. You'll be choosing that person because you also love being with them and they compliment you as well. But if you haven't worked on yourself, you'll be just like the person that, you know, we were speaking about, where you'll be just wanting that person to do things for you, and you are just receiving. And that's because you are lazy. You don't want to work on yourself, so you want somebody else to work on you. And that is now when you haven't worked on yourself. That's when you have slow. But now when you've worked on yourself, you can be able to say, okay, cool. Like, you know, you'll be able to meet the person halfway, because even you as well understand, as I said, your strengths and weaknesses a bit better as well. So you'll be able to find a medium in a decision that benefits both parties, and you'll be less self-absorbed, I believe. Thanks for that question,
Thanks
brother.
for
That's
the
a
question.
dope
That was a
question.
good question. That's a good question. And just to add to what you're saying there, there's a lot of people that don't actually take time to know themselves. There's a lot of people that don't know themselves.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that don't know what they are capable of. They don't do a SWOT analysis. There's a lot of people. I was that person. I was just living and just living, Jay. And then I realized, Dave, hey, you need to sit down and find out who you are. Right now, you don't even know who you are. You walking around thinking, chest out, oh, puff and everything, thinking that you know yourself. You know, no, I knew nothing, man. I knew nothing.
No, man.
And only to find out that that led to unhappiness, man. It led to a dark place. It led to a very dark place. And I'll link the next topic that you actually talked about today is dealing with depression.
Yeah.
Which is a big one.
Easy.
Which is a big one. And to be honest, this topic is not talked about enough.
Yeah, no.
It's not talked about. It's just, they just brush over it.
We don't, man. We really don't. Like, I feel like we can honestly meet Thursday every day. I mean, all Thursdays, and we would still have so much to speak about.
We have a lot to speak about on depression.
It's a lot.
If we say depression is in general, yeah. But if we want to pick a specific topic, like we can say depression in the male species is the worst. Depression in the male species. Thing is, I feel like a lot of people know that they are not mentally healthy, but they're in denial.
Yeah.
So they cover it up with a lot of stuff. Yeah. That's my take. I say that because I used to do that too. I used to cover. I'm like, yeah, I know something's wrong, but I'll look at it later. I've got something else to do. No, I'll look at it. I'll deal with it some other time. I started talking to people. I started talking to someone. I found out that, yo, you need to reach way back into your past in order to deal with what you are dealing with right now. Yeah. Because it scars from back then that you think that you've healed from. It scars that you think that it's in the past. But no, it just pops up. Like no one, it's like something will happen, it'll pop up, it will trigger it, then it will disappear again. Yeah. Then you're like, but why? Why did I do that? Why did I say that? Why did I act in that manner? Why did I feel in that way? Why did I feel that way? You see? But I'll let you talk about it. I'll let you talk about it. Because you've talked a lot about it.
100% true. 100%. No, I really, shared a little bit. But you said, man, there's so much to speak about. There's so much to speak about, man. And I'll just hop on to a point that you said in terms of scars from the past. Like, unlike the body, when you have a scar, it heals up and stuff. But the thing is, though, with our emotions and our mental, that hole remains there. So you leave a hole and you keep moving and you leave another hole. So it's not that hole heals up over time. No, that hole is still there. If you were 4 years old, yes, but the hole is still there. You were 10 years old, but that hole is still there. So now imagine through life, if you're an apple and you've got this little bite on you. By the time you get to 20, 30, man, like, you've got nothing left inside of you because all of these things are happening internally. You've got nothing left inside. You don't even understand, like, why are you so impatient, or why you've got anger issues, or why you can't sleep and stuff. And the reality is, it's all those little holes and all those little bites piling up, and now you've got nothing left inside of you. And this is why one of the things people say is, I mean, I just feel empty. You know what I'm saying? And they don't know where they are, where they went to. And the reality is that so much has been taken away from them, so many things have been punctured into them, that they've got nothing really left, and it requires you to go back there and fill those holes up again. This is the only way of removing those scars, man. You have to work on them by filling them up. Giving, like I said earlier in the video, like, you gotta give yourself, go to those situations one by one and refill some of those holes. Unfortunately, some of them won't be filled up completely, but you'll be able to take away the things that weren't your fault. So you'll be able to replenish some of who you are, because some of the things or traumas that happen in our lives are our fault. So once you remove certain amount of bits of those, you become to be, a bit fuller as well. So that's the reality, man. You can't move past those things because they are permanently there until you work on them. So don't be that person that says, I mean, I've always been a guy that's been like this. No, don't be that person.
You see, that's the thing. People, we tend to say, "No, I've always been like this. No, I've always acted like that. I've always reacted in that way."
Nah, bro.
You see,
Never, bro. No one is born a hater. No one is born angry. No one is born with negativity, man. That becomes ingrained in you through experience. So it's so wrong for somebody to say that, like, I'm born like this, so I mean, no, man, something happened. And if you want to be better for not only your partner or your children, but for the first of all for yourself, you need to go back there and, fix those screws, man, and see, okay, cool, like, what are the experiences that made me look at work, relationship, whatever like this? And that's the work that you have to do on your own, man. And I don't mean on your own by yourself. I mean, you have to accept that that's work you have to do and put in time to work
on those things. So how would you personally, from your journey, obviously we're not professionals in this area, we're just talking from our experiences. We're just talking from our experiences and for what we see. But from your journey, how would you say a person could go about beginning or starting the journey of dealing with it?
It's tough, man, because unfortunately, sometimes we find it out in different stages, sometimes, I mean, there's always warning signs throughout the depth of depression, but we find it at different stages, unfortunately, because it is something that we're not aware of. It is something that we're trying for. It is something that we think we can get over, so you find it out at different levels. So it's very hard to say, this is what you must start to do. But I feel like for me, the first thing I realized that I needed to do something was when I was seeing, like, the close people that I love, and I was seeing that me being around them was not bringing happiness to them.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized, something is wrong here. Like, these are the people I love. Like, I should be enjoying their company. You know what I'm saying? I should be enjoying their company. I should be wanting to spend time with them, but I wasn't wanting to spend time with them. So I realized, okay, no, what changed? And that's when I realized, yo, man, there was so much about myself that I didn't like, so much about myself that I was ashamed of, or so many things within myself that I just didn't want to see anybody, and that's when I realized I needed to do something. And the first thing that I did, to be honest, was just I was on my laptop, man, and I just spoke to myself. I really had a conversation with myself and said, yo, who are you? What happened to you? Or what do you want to become? Or what, what's wrong with you? And that's when I started to look at myself and say, man, and I broke down that conversation, man, in terms of speaking to myself and saying, yo, why aren't you happy? What are the things that make you happy? Why aren't you going for them? And through that's conversation with myself, I really started to break down. And I think from that on, me being open with myself allowed there to be a little bit of room to open the door for one person.
Mm-hmm.
And when I opened the door, just a little bit for that one person, fortunately, my sister, somebody who my one, was able to hug me and say, okay, cool, I'll give you time. Speak when you're ready, and little by little I was speaking with her, and that allowed me, open room for a second person, and through that, a bit more light was entering my life, and that's when I became really grow in strength. If that makes sense, but
Yeah.
that's currently like how it went about with me.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense, man. So you saying you talk to yourself? Is this through like you do a recording?
Yeah, no, I literally, man, like I literally, like, because I feel like we all know, man, like we all know our our level of happiness. We all know, like whether you go to the, I mean, I used to go to the club, turn up, and come back home and just be sad. You know, I'll be sad. I'll be sad. I'm just like, man. But I didn't want to spend time on it, so I'll just leave or play music, whatever. But it's those moments that are like, yo, dude, spend time with yourself. Like because we don't want to go there, we remove that, either bring another person into your life or bring something that's going to disturb you from going there. So the one time I actually went there, I was like, you know what, you're not listening to me. Let me not have a superficial conversation. Let me speak to me, like, dude, like you don't even like drinking like that. Why are you? You don't even like being promiscuous like that. Why are you being promiscuous? Is this who you are? Is this where you want to be? And just through that conversation, man, I was able to remove, uh, a lot of negativity to the point where I was at least able to speak to one person. Because I was telling you, man, the road I was heading in was a very dark road because I was all about, as we were saying earlier, you just want to remove as much negativity as a way by distracting yourself.
Yep.
And at some point, women is not enough distraction. Alcohol is not enough distraction. You will hate your life so much that your whole life will become a distraction or remove your whole life. You know what I'm saying? So I was heading to that point, and I was so fortunate to catch myself before I felt like I needed an eternal distraction from life. You know what I mean?
No, that's good, man. I feel like a lot of people need to do things like that now. They need to start somewhere because
No,
there's a lot of us who are actually hurting out there, and we don't say anything. They need to stop, like you said, even if it means you need to start talking to yourself in order to get to talk to someone else. They need to
yeah,
do that because we need to we
that's
need to start
absolutely.
healing. We need to start healing
We do, bro.
as a, as human beings. We need to start healing as the male gender. We really need to start
Definitely.
healing.
That's a big fight that we have to fight. And just on the last note, you just made me remember something as well. Like, there's no one who's okay. And that's a reality, man. And living there's so much trauma in living. So I also feel like you don't have to wait for something to happen to actually check up on yourself. You don't have to wait, for you to lose your job or wait
Yeah,
for you to break up or wait for somebody to pass away or wait, you know, like you just generally, you can or we can always be better, because let me tell you, so many things have happened to all of us, so many experiences that we have happened. You don't need to wait to fix it.
that is
Let's
true.
start now. Start now. Even if you're 80%, you can still go to
You
90, you
can
can still go
still
to
go to
100%.
90,
Even if
man.
you're 99, exactly. Exactly. So let's not wait to be on the low on the 30 and say, oh man, I talk to you. Nah, bro. Listen, you're 90. Let's talk. What's up? Why are you missing the other 10?
Why missing the
You
other
know what I'm
10?
saying?
You see, come
Talk
on,
about
talk
it.
to me. Where do you need help? Let's see. If I can't
Exactly.
help you, I'll find someone that can.
Exactly. Yeah. And let's be those people. And the solution, let's be those people to other people as well. Like, I feel like that's why I'm starting to speak out, is because I'm trying to be the person that I feel like I need back then. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So I'm interrupting people. I'm like, hey, yo, hey, bro, what's up?
you good?
That status there is looking shady, man. You talk, hey, yo, what's up?
Why are you so quiet?
So we need to
Why
be
why are you so quiet? What's happening?
why so quiet? Yeah.
Nah, but man,
So let's
let's
be
be let's be those people. Let's be those people. Listen, because the time is not on our side. I'll just let you
yeah,
finish off. Tell us what's going on in your life right now, where people can go and catch your videos, where they can get your book,
yeah,
all of that.
yeah. No, I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it. And, like I said, it's always nice catching up, man. Like this year, man, it's all about taking everything, man. Like we said, even if you're 90, we're trying to get 100%. If you're 100, you're trying to get to the next level. So I'm speaking about all of that. I'm on YouTube. My name and Ntsika, on all platforms as well. I'm sharing everything that I'm going through and that's happening as well. The book is also on my link as well on my bio. And yeah, man, like I'm always available for anything and for anyone because that's what I also felt like I needed back in the days. And even now, you know, sometimes when I feel like ish, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, like I need to vent. Who can I ish? You know, I want to be that person. No, highlight.
Yeah.
If I'm awake, I'll get you. Let's have that conversation no matter the time because
Definitely.
I feel like life is more important than anything else, you know. So yeah, man, I'm available for that, and it's gonna grow. It's gonna grow together.
Nah, man, thank you very much for this chat. We're still going to chat. Obviously, we've got a lot to chat about, but we're still going to chat another time.
Always.
We'll catch up another time.
Always.
We got to go.
Always.
Thank you to the people that showed up to watch.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the questions. And we're going to call it an evening. Thank you for watching. What are people going to think? What are they going to say?
Much love and respect, man. Thank you for the platform, man. We appreciate the platform. Yeah, thanks, bro.
All right. Have a good evening, people. Cheers.
Yeah.